Hello everyone and welcome to Season 5 of the Tom Hanks Racing Series. I'll briefly explain the format and then I'll talk a little bit about the track and then we get started with the actual competitors. So for the format we have a qualification round and a main competition, each consisting of 3 races. One on asphalt, one on dirt and one mixed stage. The cars are shown head-to-head in the qualification round, but their head-to-head finishing order actually doesn't matter. Instead, what matters is the finishing time, because the times for all 3 races are added together, and then if your car is within 5 seconds of the fastest car, then you qualify for the main competition. And in the main competition, all the cars that qualified plus 1 wildcard per race are also being raced against the clock, and the times are added together, and the fastest overall car wins. So now let's talk a little bit about the track that we're racing on, this time the Atoll asphalt stage. You start with a long straight where the power is really gonna show. Then you have a fast left-hand corner that some cars can take flat out. And then you have a second or third gear left-hander. Mid-cornering grip is going to be really important there, as well as grip on exit. The jump may unsettle some cars, and then the fast right-hander is where a lot of cars like to understeer. And then you have to brake hard for this tight left-hand hairpin. Some cars are gonna oversteer on exit. And then you brake into this tight double left-hander and accelerate out hard. And there you have a relatively tight left-hand 180-degree corner, followed by some right-hand corners, all very slow speed. And you end with a very tight 180-degree left-hander that you don't need to drift like I did here, but either way, that's a finished lap. On to our first head-to-head. Tommy's GigaChat Rally Machine by Aaron with Pizza versus FWM Armalite 3TR by Venacera 423. The Armalite is on sports tires, unlike the Rally Machine, as I'll call it for ease of speaking. But the Armalite only has 225mm tires on it, meaning both cars here actually have relatively similar levels of grip on asphalt, but the Rally Machine surely is going to be better on dirt. Both cars understeer on the braking here for this tight hairpin, but the Rally Machine is gonna come out on top for now due to its superior power to weight, as the Armalite is actually over 200 kilos over the minimum weight, whereas the Rally Machine isn't. And so the high downforce and lower weight helps it brake harder. The Armalite has a little bit more grip here around these tight corners, and so it catches up nicely. And you will see for the final bend they are pretty similar, but the Rally Machine is going to out-accelerate the Armalite and is going to finish in first. Next up, the Scarab Flare S1 versus the Iris Feline RST. The Scarab is going to take off like a rocket. It's got the most torque out of any car, and it'll get to this first left-hander in the lead. And in fact, the Iris has quite a big problem to it, namely the fact that it power understeers. So when you apply power, the car likes to understeer, and that's not good for a rally car these days. You can see how far ahead the Scarab already is. The Scarab has excellent handling, great grip, lots of torque, great power. It is just an excellent driving machine around here, whereas the Feline just struggles getting around any corner, and you can't really go on the power very early with it. You really gotta go all the way around the corner, pretty much off throttle, before you can get on the gas. And as a result, you can see how far behind it already is. The Scarab is basically finished already, and the Iris is still only just now making it around the final hairpin. And that'll explain the vastly different finishing times. Next up we have the Mara AMM Xenia R5B and the HFF Motors Love. Both cars are very quick off the line, both cars good power, low weight. The Mara has its signature Mara turn in, although it doesn't have as much mid-corner grip as I'm used to from Mara cars, whereas the HFF does have that mid-corner grip. In fact, it's just a little bit of mid-corner understeer, but it's alright. It turns well, it's got a lot of torque. Both cars very quick down the straights. The Mara has a little bit shorter gearing, I would say. But either way, both cars are making good time, but the HFF is ahead because the Mara is lacking a little bit of grip on asphalt. So it has a little bit of mid-corner understeer, and it also has a little bit of power oversteer. Nothing too dramatic, but versus the HFF, which doesn't have either of those problems on tarmac, we'll see how it is on dirt, you can see that it's falling behind and the HFF takes the win. Next we have the Arnament MK31 and the Saishin Tobiu, I hope I said that right. Both cars very, very fast on the straight, but in the corners they couldn't be more different, and pretty much this first corner shows it already. The Saishin has so much downforce it can take that first left-hander flat out, whereas the Arnament is quite soft actually. That'll probably be very beneficial on dirt, but somehow even on asphalt it remains very agile and very grippy. It just rolls a lot. So the Saishin is ahead at the moment. The Saishin also has extremely good brakes, just like we're used to from Teacup from the last season. I think this car has the best brakes out of any car in the field. And it is still in the lead as of right now. However, in the slow speed corners, you will see that the Arnament is actually really, really great, and it makes up quite a lot of ground, and it comes really close to the Saishin right here around the last corner, but the Saishin is still just a little bit faster. And our final pairing is the Capable Wrecker versus the Minos Meteor, and both cars are very powerful, very quick off the line. But the Minos is going to take the lead in through the first corner because it does just have a little bit more grip, both front and rear. So it has less understeer in the middle of the corner and less oversteer on power. Both cars not that much downforce, so both really take off over the jumps, which is what you like to see on a rally car. However, it's not the fastest. And you can see the Capable Wrecker very slidey there through that hairpin, as the Minos already establishes quite a significant lead here. The Minos also has more torque, and while I do go wide on this left-hander with the Minos, you can see that it still holds the line, it still grips up very well. And then through the final hairpin you can see the Minos is significantly ahead, and it's going to finish in first. Thanks everyone for watching, see you in the next race.